Welcome to our channel. For those of you who are new, and I say this every time, but people still call us and they say, oh, I just found you. If you're new to our channel and you want to get every video we've had, because we've had close to 300 at this point, you make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. That way you'll be notified of every new video that comes up. Now, as I do in every video, before we start, I need to talk about a couple of products the company has to offer. Number one, there's this book. This is a gold mine. I mean, honestly, this is a gold mine. This will be one of the most profitable things you ever bought in your life. It has every question your state has asked in the last something between 9 and 12 months. The question, the answers, all 4 choices, then the correct answer, then the page in your textbook where you can go to find more information about that. Okay? Every question, the 4 possible answers, the correct answer, and the page in your textbook, and I strongly suggest you go and look. As I've said before, a young lady called the other day from Dallas, Texas. She took the test. English was not her first language, nor was it her second language. It was rather her third language. Neither of her first or second language were English or Spanish, so she was at a huge disadvantage. She pointed out there were 50 people in the room with her. 5 people passed the test. 5 out of 50. That's a 90% failure rate. Now, I'm sure at least one of you, because I probably would think this way myself, well, I'm not going to be that 90%. I'm pretty sure that most of those people didn't think they were going to be at 90%. Maybe a few said, I'll just give it a shot and see what happens. But I'm pretty sure that 45 out of 50 people didn't anticipate failing their test. This is a real story. For those of you in Dallas, Texas, be on guard. The rest of the country, you should be on guard too. We do private training. It's 7 classes. Each class is 1 hour in length. We will go through your textbook. It doesn't matter which textbook you have. If you've got the newer cosmetology book divided into 2 parts, the foundations book and then the other book, fine. If you've got the older cosmetology book, looks like this. Doesn't make any difference. If you've got the really old book, even older than this one, we still have it here. If you're a barber, you've got this book. It's the older book, but most barbers are still using it. Or if you've got the new one behind me, it doesn't make any difference. The material doesn't change. The complementary color of yellow is violet. The color to cancel yellow is violet. The color to neutralize yellow is violet. This doesn't change. I don't care what book you have. Very, very little changes from one edition to the other, except the chapter numbers and the page numbers. The material stays the same. We will walk you through whatever book you have, page by page. You'll take a highlighter or an underline and we'll tell you, highlight this sentence. Here's the sentence on the test. They like to ask barbers, on which fingers should you not wear rings? This is a very common test question for barbers. On which fingers do you not wear rings? Well, you know what, guys and ladies? And this book is on page 82. Okay? What fingers you should not wear rings on. You should go there and you should look at it because you should expect to see it on your test. Now, we're going to get into today's video. Today's video, in our short series of 10, would be number 5. Okay? We're going to be discussing hair cutting. The older textbooks had separate chapters, men's hair cutting, women's hair cutting. The new textbooks put it all together in a hair cutting chapter. Again, it says the same exact thing. All they did was reorder the chapters. Now they're going to ask you about draping. I had one young man from Turkey. He had gone to school in Turkey. It's a 4-year course. He was doing hair for 15 years in his country. He came here, he failed the test 17 times. Let us think it. 17 times. He said, I don't understand how I keep failing this test. Well, it didn't take me a long time to realize his problem was not that he didn't understand hair. He didn't understand English. It was a huge disadvantage. He actually said this to me, and I always talk about this, and he's like, I don't care if you can say it. Why do they keep asking about drapes? He thought they meant the drapes in his house. No, they mean draping, the cape you put on for for hair cutting services, color, anything you want to do, okay? There's going to be several questions on the correct draping procedures. What kind of a cape do you use? How many towels do you use? A lot of questions on draping. There will also be questions on the proper shampoo techniques. And you would think that shampooing wouldn't be that complicated. But those of you who think that clearly haven't read the chapter on shampooing, because it's rather complicated according to the State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. There will be questions on facial shapes. One book shows you 7, one book shows you 8. The state will ask you about 2 of them. They will have parts of the head, okay, like the apex, the crown, the parts of the head. They will ask you which head shape is considered most ideal for any haircut, which profile shape is considered most ideal for any haircut. Very few people give a lot of thought to this, the shape of your client's face, the profile of your client's face. The state asked extensive questions on the best hairstyle, best styling techniques for certain shape faces, certain profile of faces. They always ask about cross-checking. It's a system of checking your work. Read your book or get our book. A half dozen questions on cross-checking. Pass your test. Other questions are finger waving. In the barber book, there's 2 different chapters that discuss finger waving. A lot of cosmetology students understand what finger waving is. Not all, but some do. Very few barbers understand finger waving, but you need to know it on your test. Now, braiding. You would think that given current hairstyles, there would be a lot of questions on braiding. You would be wrong. There are only a couple of questions, but there are a couple of questions on braiding. Razor cutting, rather extensively questioned. I had a barber student about a year ago, and he said, I didn't know you could cut hair with the razor. I'm not even going to go into how you went through a year of school and nobody ever showed you that. Whether you do it or not. I personally don't care for it. I don't really like how it looks. I think it kind of frizzes out most people's hair. But they don't care what I think. It's on your test. Questions on razor cutting. In styling. A lot of questions on styling. Okay? Styling products, blow dryers versus diffusers, curling irons versus flat irons versus pressing combs. How do you avoid burning your client's hair? How to avoid burning your client's scalp? There's a lot of questions on hair styling. To finish off this video, let me strike that. A lot of cosmetology students do pretty well on that because they do a lot of it in school. The majority of barber students haven't really done a lot of styling with blow dryers and curling irons and flat irons and pressing combs. So that they're kind of like a fish out of water, so to speak, when it comes to that. Don't be that fish. Okay? Pass your test. Now, it's a very simple product. You give us a call, 760-534-4434, or visit us online at www.cosmetologystateboardexam.com. We will guarantee you pass your test. So call us today, 760-534-4434, English or Spanish. Thank you.